that's hot.
All right, people. My favorite day of the week. It's Hot Take Tuesday. And I'm really excited. I've been sitting on this hot take for days now, and I can't wait to unveil it for all of you listeners, viewers, however you partake in watching this Twin City Sports Talk podcast. But before we get to our hot takes and our predictions for the Wolves and Wild game tonight, two very winnable games, our ad read for today, kitchen-wise, closet-wise, a family-owned and operated business proudly serving the Twin Cities and surrounding areas. If you're ready to maximize your space, they're the people to know. They specialize in creating custom solutions designed around how you actually live. And I have a script, but I'm not going to use it because I know the product too well now. And these pictures speak for themselves. They make beautiful closets. And the thing with their kitchens, just like in that picture in the bottom left corner, I paused the video here so you people can look at it longer. Fantastic rollout cabinets. So these are very much designed for really anyone just because they're so dang efficient to use. But if you are a less mobile person, if you had an injury with your back or anything like that, these are so easy to use, and you can slam them as hard as you want to put them back in. And they have a very I forget what the actual system's called, but tight closing where they close really slowly, they close perfectly. And it's really efficient for people that have a back injury or just less mobile people in general. But garages, pantries, closets, and kitchens, any space that you need, storage, they're the people to know for that. And then at the end here's their phone number and kitchenwise.com. A free consultation is what you could have them out there for. It's a free consultation, people. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. It is literally just to see what your kitchen could look like. Either way, kitchen-wise, closet-wise, when you go there, tell them we sent you at Twin City Sports Talk while you're at it. We got a few hot takes ready. One from each of us, Trevor and Bruce, and then we're going to get to some predictions for the games later tonight. All right, Trev, we're going to start out with you.
Oh, that's hot.
All right. People, Kirk O'Chains, 1 year, $20 million, fully guaranteed. Yeah, we know he signed the 5-year contract. All right. But we know the focus is year one here coming up with Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Mendoza is not going to be starting week one. Not at all. He is not ready to start week one, and you're not going to throw him in. Are the Raiders looking to contend this year? You can maybe argue a playoff spot, just given how
if they can nail the draft, maybe.
If you can nail the draft, you've spent a lot of money. Looks like you're going to keep Crosby.
Yeah.
But realistically, no, you're not contending. Even if you make the playoffs, you ain't going to win in the playoffs. Slow your roll. Mendoza will get his chance, but Kirk will start majority, at least half the games for the Raiders, barring he stays healthy.
Yeah.
If you want to argue the Achilles injury, for me, it doesn't really factor. He looked fine in Atlanta post Achilles injury. He's never been a scrambler. He doesn't move in the pocket. All of us fight against all that. And for people that hate him, given the money side, that's fair. But he performs at a good enough level where obviously it's not like Vegas would give him this contract if he doesn't deserve it. So I do think he's going to actually play pretty solid with Vegas, especially too if their running game can improve from last year, because Genty can be a beast. It's just, if they can.
He had a sneaky good year, 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, it wasn't even terrible.
It just goes unnoticed with the team.
If you could just have a more balanced, slightly improve that running game, which it should. I mean, you got Linderbaum now at center. Off the top of your head, real quick, Bruce, do they, for the rest of their O-line, is it kind of the same? Besides,
so they signed another guard. I'm forgetting.
I forgot to look at O-line.
The guard was Spencer Burford, the guard, the starting guard from the Niners. So they got center and a guard.
I guess my point being, assuming Kirk stays healthy, I have plenty of faith he can do well. Him and Kubiak have that connection already when they were here in Minnesota. More reason why you'd start Kirk, because it's just a lot you got to throw at a rookie quarterback to learn as much of the playbook he needs to. Bruce, correct me if I'm wrong, Mendoza rarely under center, right, at Indiana. If I remember correctly, he was basically shotgun, pistol, whatever you want to call it.
Mostly shotgun, I'd say probably 60% of the time.
And guess what? Kubiak loves his play action game, where you got to be under center, turn your back to the defense, and then, readjust and see what your eyes see after, the play action and the boots and all that. So there's a lot of things Mendoza's going to have to get comfortable with, just learning the playbook, making the jump to the NFL. Playing at Indiana is going to be a big help, right? Power 4, plenty of legit games he played, facing great Big Ten teams, winning championships. So Mendoza should be fine. Obviously, I've also stated in the past, I think Mendoza will be a bust as in number 1 pick quality. He'll be good enough to stay in the league. I just don't.
That's a hot take by itself.
I just don't think Mendoza's number 1. When we compare him 3-4 years from now, I could be completely wrong, but what my gut feeling is when you compare him to last year's quarterback draft class and the year prior to that, and you kind of compare other quarterbacks that went like top 3, I think a lot of people are going to be picking, your Drake Mays and your Daniels and your Bo Nix, and I could keep going. It's not that Mendoza will be bad. I just don't think he'll be like elite quarterback status. Kind of see him middle of the pack quarterback. I think Kirk will play solid. Bruce and I think most people expect Raiders to attack receiver as one of the early picks in the draft. So if they add that on top of having, you got Trey Tucker, who is sneaky, had a very productive year. This past season, you got a Naylor from the Vikings, and then whoever that draft pick can be. And then you got Bowers at tight end. We all know how Bowers can be.
And they should have a great tight end duo.
Your second
with
tight end
Michael
was
Myers.
Myers.
Myers. Either way.
And obviously Kubiak's had a well track record. First time head coach, so we'll see how that goes. But he's had plenty of success in his multiple different stints with different teams as OC, once with the Vikings. Obviously with Seattle, what he did. I mean, think of how dominant that running game is. I mean, think of how happy Genty
That's what I was going to say.
Excited. There's a lot
fantasy
of reasons
owners.
To believe Kirk just needs to float the boat.
Yeah.
He's done it before. He had that very, very freakishly good year. Had he not torn his Achilles, that's a major, that's a crazy what if. A lot of people can be talking about it, and a lot of people kind of may forget, which is fine because it's been a couple years now. But a lot of people probably forget how well Kirk, was playing the year he.
If I'm remembering correctly, it was like week 8. Didn't he have like 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions?
He was having a great year. He had a phenomenal game against Philly. I think that's a week 2 or 3 game, Thursday night game.
I know that specifically. 345 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. I was in Florida for that game, and I'm gonna always remember that one.
But like that game, right? Super hard. Philly's one of the hardest places to play in, regardless, right?
We only lost that game because Alexander Madison had 3 fumbles.
When Jefferson had the fumble through the end zone touchback, that's about as bad as you can get for any turnover scenario. So basically, Kirk's gonna start. You don't guarantee a quarterback $20 million. It's the perfect fit. Almost any other team had their quarterback spot filled. Jets are the only other one, and I really don't think Kirk would want to go to the Jets. He may have considered it just because his options were very, very limited. But Kirk's going to do fine with the Raiders, given he can stay healthy.
That's what I was going to say is, like, either way, whoever they do play, whether it be Kirk or Mendoza, they're going to get better quarterback play than what they had in Geno last year. I mean, Geno was horrible, but mostly just because it's Kubiak. But Ashton Genty fantasy owners right now expect big things out of Genty. You saw how Kenneth Walker played with Kubiak as the OC there in Seattle.
Charbonnet too, but
especially Walker, the whole gang. But I mean, he was easily their MVP going into the playoffs last year. But all right, there we go, Trev. Good stuff. We kind of planned this. I'm going Raiders too. I should name this episode like Raiders hot takes. I'm confused. All you viewers who clicked on this video, they're like, "Ooh, we're gonna get some Minnesota sports hot takes." Not today. We're talking full Raiders. I have a very big topic that I'm gonna have a lot to back up with me on here. Which by the end of it might not even be a hot take with how much I prove myself here. But no, my hot take is the Raiders should 1,000,000% trade the number 1 pick and get loaded up on draft picks this year with only because Kirk Cousins, which this kind of goes hand in hand with Trevor's take, is what I'm saying here. Kirk Cousins starts this whole year. The free agency the Raiders have, I have so many things on my phone ready to like just kind of go through it quick here. But people know the Raiders have spent the most money in free agency. They re-signed Eric Stokes, who had a really good year according to PFF. So they still need some cornerback depth, but they re-signed him. And then for strictly free agency, they start out and get a kicker in Matt Gay, so reliable kicker. But then their linebacker room specifically, they signed Nakobe Dean from Philadelphia. Dude's a beast. Tyler Linderbaum, who we just talked about, the best center in the NFL. He's only like 24 years old. Oh, yeah. Like, it's hefty money.
His average market.
Yes. Yeah. Because we had talks. We're like, Vikings, if we don't have much money, but spend on one guy. And then, like, there was like $15 million. I think
they went like $9 million over the, like, what he was projected. Whatever it was. They, like, made sure he was going to be their center.
So they got the best center in the NFL. And then they got a really, really good linebacker in Nakobe Dean. Then they get a guy who's proven himself, Jalen Naylor, at the wide receiver position. And then edge rusher, Kwity Paye. He has proven himself. He's a really good pass rusher. Him, along with Max Crosby, now that he's most likely staying there, that's dangerous. They just need to get the interior D-line fixed up, and they are really good to go. And then to go beyond that, they signed Packers Quay Walker to beef up the linebacker room. And then they also, like I said, they signed the offensive guard, Spencer Burford, from the Niners. And he was one of the best guards, I think, just in the NFC. I don't know where he ranked in the entire NFL. Kirk Cousins, just like Trevor was saying here, with Clint Kubiak, Kirk can have a sneaky, very, very good year. And I'm talking like Sam Darnold last year, because Sam Darnold didn't do anything amazing in the regular season. I'm pretty sure at the end of the year, Darnold only had like 29, 30 touchdowns, but he still had like 12 interceptions. It wasn't a great ratio by any means. It wasn't like, it was still really good. I mean, Sam Darnold was great. He threw for 4,000 yards, but I'm saying that's the type of year Kirk can have here. I am going to pull this up. My whole thing here is that they need to trade the number 1 pick. Trevor is not confident with Mendoza. I am confident with Mendoza for a whole entire NFL career standpoint, but my reasoning here is that next year's draft is freakishly deep at the quarterback position. Like, it is really deep. And to pull that up, I have it on my phone. The quarterbacks listed here, obviously the main ones, Arch Manning, Dante Moore. Dante Moore would have been a top 3 draft pick in this draft class, but he's staying at Oregon for a year. Let me get this pulled up, the rest of the list. So yeah, he's staying at Oregon. Okay. Arch Manning. And then another really good one, Julian Sayin, is draft eligible next year, and he'll probably come in. And he was in the Heisman finalist this year for Ohio State. But then DJ Lagway, one of the best 5-stars of all time, struggled at Florida. But if he has a good year with Baylor, he will jump way. He's a freak. He's Anthony Richardson, basically, where Anthony Richardson got drafted top 5.
Josh Allen, too, right? Super raw.
Exactly.
Josh Allen
just with the athleticism aspect of it. DJ Lagway is going to jump up there. And then Brandon Sorsby. There's a ton of guys, even in like the 3rd and 4th round, that have talent. I mean, I'm not even going to – I'm going to go way too in the weeds if I get all of those. But my point as a whole with the draft, there's so many quarterbacks that are going to go first round, but it's not like all of them are going to go in the top 5. There is so much other talent. Jeremiah Smith. There's a bunch of edge rushers like Jordan Ross and another edge rusher from Ohio State. This draft as a whole is super deep, unless injuries happen for a bunch of these guys. Some of these quarterbacks are going to fall to like 20. These quarterbacks are going to.
It's not like every team drafting high is going to need a quarterback either. So
what I'm saying here is the Raiders stick with Kirk for this year, and they will compete. And I will show you what they can get back for trading this number 1 pick in a second. The Raiders can compete. The Chiefs lost their entire secondary this year in free agency. Now they got Kenneth Walker, Patrick Mahomes. should be ready by the start of the year, but I thought
even if he's not, Justin Fields should be able to do fine in his court trade. And then one quick thing too.
Keep going. Yeah.
Just kind of with your quarterback depth, the worst comes to worst. Like if the quarterbacks fall off quicker than they anticipate, like say they do trade out and they need a quarterback in the 27 draft.
Yep.
When they load up on picks and assuming most pan out, they can be aggressive and then trade future picks to get that quarterback filled.
Exactly.
Given that the amount of money they spend free agency on top of, if they load up on a ton of picks, there's a lot of their positions are going to have good depth.
Yes.
Or already be good at starters that they don't need to adjust for at least the next couple of years. So they can sacrifice future 2028 picks for the 27 draft, trade up and get that quarterback if need be too. So that's just like another thing.
And now back to Kirk Cousins. We talked about the offensive line a little bit. Linderbaum, they signed Spencer Burford as the left guard, but then their left tackle, Colton Miller, I didn't know this, but I just looked up his PFF grade. He was a top 10 tackle in the league last year. So that left side of the line is deadly. It's really good. One of the best, probably from center to the tackle out there, one of the best three guys right there.
Side, yeah.
They just need to get the right side figured out, but with all these draft picks you can acquire by trading away this first round or this first overall pick, you can fix that. But then the whole team, like I said, the linebacker room is deadly. You need to get a little bit deeper on the secondary side. They did sign Taron Johnson too, the safety or the nickel cornerback from Buffalo. They signed him also. But the three areas you need to improve on in the draft now: wide receiver, interior D-line, and then secondary. Just for depth purposes of the secondary. But here's the thing. They need 3 positions. They have less holes than the Vikings do, in my opinion. Like, genuinely, with this free agent class that they've signed, and I'm talking like quarterback's not an issue for this year, if I'm counting Kirk as their guy, because Brock Bowers. But for wide receiver, it's Naylor, Trey Tucker, and then Jack Beck, with which he's not a reliable guy.
He'll probably be their 4 when they draft a
guy. Yeah. I'm not going to go through their schedule because that'll just be too down the weeds, but I have this pulled up, people. Obviously, the Raiders hold the first overall pick, and I did a mock yesterday, which I'm going to try to copy that a little bit here. The Jets have 2 first-round picks right now. They have 16, and they are at 2. What I did yesterday is I traded with the Jets. The Jets, I want to pick 16, 33, 44. And then in my thing yesterday, I got 103 and then 140. I got 5 picks in a row for the first overall pick. That would make the Jets, and still this is saying that this is very much in their favor because the Jets would have the first and second pick. I mean, they would beef up their team a lot with that, of course. I mean, they would probably choose Fernando and then like Arvell Reese. I mean, that flips around a team already, but this is for a first overall pick. This is completely realistic. Yes, the Raiders would drop down 15 spots here, but look at all these draft picks the Raiders would get back. And this is still like very much on my side here. Like, I should be asking for more. I could honestly probably ask for a next year's 3rd or a 2nd with this, just because I am dropping 15 spots. It's not like I'm trading back to 5.
And the only thing maybe the Jets, in this case, would be you're not going to trade every pick in the 26th draft, which I still think the Raiders
they still
would
have
do, like,
picks,
if they'd be open.
Yeah.
And I know they still have picks, but I'm saying they might balance, like, where one of the 2 you have selected would maybe be until 27. But
yes, I'm just saying this is what they probably could get. I mean, the Jets, I think they maybe not exactly what Trev said. Maybe one of these picks would be flipped for a 4th next year or something, but you would have the 1st and 2nd pick in the draft. That's the type of value the Jets get back here. And so you make this happen. They accept that. Now the Jets hold the 1st and 2nd pick, and I'm going to go very fast here, and I'm going to kind of, well, you know what? I'm not going to do the full mock draft. I'll show you guys the one that I did yesterday as I get this off the screen. I'm just going to roll through this, but either way, a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 draft picks total for the Raiders in this draft. You have 1 first rounder, but then in this mock, you would have 3 seconds, a 3rd, and then 3 or 4 fourths, I forget. But Either way, at 16 in this mock I already did a few days ago, Jermod McCoy will be there at 16 for the Raiders. So there is your depth at secondary. You sign Taron Johnson, you have Eric Stokes and Jermod McCoy. That's your corner room, okay? And you still have to address safety at some time in the draft because the safety depth is not there. But then at pick 33, you pick Chris Brazzell, all right? And that is a fantastic pick because he comes in and probably is your second wide receiver because it would be Naylor and Brazzell outside, and then Trey Tucker would be your slot receiver. That's where Trey Tucker really thrives for the most part. So Chris Brazzell, your wide receiver room is set. That's all you need to do there. You're perfect in that situation. And then with pick 36, you pick Lee Hunter, the defensive tackle from Texas Tech. He is one of the best defensive tackles. He rushes the passer and stops the run better than most guys in this draft. Boom. Defensive tackle is set. And then you draft right guard out of Oregon, Emmanuel Pragon. Okay. One of the best pass blocking guards in the draft. His run blocking could use a little work, but you're getting guaranteed good pass blocking out of him, and he will be the starter on the right side of your line for the guard position. And then at 67, you draft a Dallas Turner type, Joshua Josephs out of Tennessee. He's a super fast edge rusher to go. That's your three right there. Crosby, Quiddy, Josephs. And then you draft another defensive tackle in Rashawn Benny. Now, this guy's a pure run stopper, but there you go. Your interior D-line, one of your biggest needs, is completely done. You're set. And then the next picks, Jalen Kilgore, South Carolina's safety. That is one of your starting safeties. Just because the depth there isn't great, he's one of your starting safeties right away. Jalen Kilgore, big hitter, good in zone coverage. All right. And then Isaiah World is your next pick, offensive tackle from Oregon. And I'm just going to name the last four. Actually, this one's an important one. I did need to select a quarterback. And at 121 in the fourth round, Drew Aller. All right. Drew Aller's getting a ton of hype going into the draft. Really big arm. And here's the thing. You can develop him. If you see something, maybe you roll with him next year. But again, the draft class is freakishly good next year. Drew Aller and then Harold Perkins, just for more linebacker depth, the main linebacker out of LSU. And then actually, here's the thing. This is why I'm so excited about this draft I had for the Raiders, because every single pick of mine means something very big. The Raiders have Ashton Genty, their first and second down back. They need a third down back. Kentucky's Seth McCowan, I selected at 175. He's 6'1", 220. He is a Jordan Mason type. He is your third down back. He's a David Montgomery. So there you have your 1-2 punch at running back, undoubtedly. And then with the last pick at 208, you select Tanner Kozoil, the tight end out of Houston. So with this draft and with the free agency the Raiders had, they do not have one hole on the team. You select a corner and get your corner room. You select 2 defensive tackles to further deepen that defensive line. One really good pass rushing one and one amazing run stopper. You get another edge rusher. You get a wide receiver very early. And then you address your offensive line with a fantastic pass blocking guard. And then Isaiah World from Oregon, that tackle who plays right tackle most of the time, he is ginormous. He's like 6'7", 330 pounds. He's a pretty big immovable force. And there's a very good chance he would start. This draft is perfect for the Raiders. And with this free agency class, this draft to me proved that trading this number 1 pick, especially if you can get like a Drew Aller later, which actually at 121, that's an A+ pick it gave me for it. So that just, I mean, that's a little bit whitewashed or whatever, but either way, every pick in this draft has a big meaning for the team. And you literally do not have one hole for the Raiders going into next season. If you can get good quarterback play, but I think they have that covered with Clint Kubiak being the coach, like Trevor was talking about. There it is. There is my in-depth talk. Raiders need to trade the first overall pick.
Yeah. Money. We are the GM.
There it is. Yeah, I loved doing that mock draft, and I loved sharing with you my hot take of the week. Trevor knows this, people, but I've been sitting on this hot take for like 4 days now, and I've just been anxiously waiting to like unleash it all here. Either way, that's it.
Let's go.
We're done with Hot Take Tuesday here, but I'm excited about that one. I hope it happens because then they will know that Tom Brady watches the podcast and he ordered that the number 1 pick be traded.
That'd be so crazy. Just some no-name idiots like us just taking over the. Yeah. Just Tom Brady's like, these guys might be on something. We load up. We completely rebuild our team on top of what we've done in free agency, and boom, we're set.
A veteran in Kirk.
We're golden.
I mean, gosh dang, they in this hypothetical stance, they would have 3 second-round picks and still a first-round pick. It's not like you're trading out of the first. Still a first-round pick, 3 seconds, and then a third and 2 early fourths. So it's just it's loaded. It would be loaded for the Raiders. So either way, there's our Hot Take Tuesday, people. We'll do it again next week. We'll be back. But for right now, we got 2 games to predict for tonight's games. Wolves, Wild, like I said, 2 winnable games for each. The Wild at home. This is their second to last home game before they go on a 3-game road trip before the last game of the season back at home against the Ducks before the playoffs. And it's against the Kraken tonight. The Kraken are 500, at least for the wins and losses, and then like 8 overtime losses. And then Wolves, Pacers, the worst team in the East. Trevor said it before the show here, 9 injuries for the Pacers now. They're just dreaded with.
Yeah, some have been out for already a while. Halliburton obviously being the headline, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll just start it off the rip here. And from the time we're recording this, we don't know if Ant's playing. Ant's been a question mark going into each game here. I'm assuming he's going to play. He didn't play against Charlotte the other night. So I'm assuming he'll be in. But then again, it is one of your weaker opponents down the stretch. He might just want another rest day. We don't know. We don't have a word on it from where we're at right now when we're recording. So I'm going to assume he isn't playing. But that doesn't really matter because it's the Pacers with all the injuries. Wolves win 117-102. I think they'll just get it done. I think they'll get the job done. Hopefully they don't.
You would really hope so.
I know. And like, yeah, that's a good way to put it. You would really hope so. You can't lose this game against the Pacers. You just can't. Either way, as for a player prediction for myself, now, do they have any injuries in the center position with like?
Yeah, Zubac.
Yeah, so he's out, right?
I don't know for the game.
Yeah, I don't
know about this game, but
either way, but yeah, I'm actually looking. I'm looking for the first time at this. This is crazy.
I don't think Zubac has played in a while, unless I'm mistaking him with another. So he shouldn't.
I don't think so. But I mean, yeah, this is crazy though. I didn't realize it was this bad. Neesmith, Nemhard, Walker, Siakam, obviously.
Yeah, their entire injured list could be another NBA team almost.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, this could easily. Yeah,
it's sad. It's terrible.
Yeah, that sucks. Hey, Obi Toppin, I'm sorry, man, but this was just not the year. They're 19-60, so that's all you got to hear, people. Either way, I'll say this. I think this is going to be a good get right game for Mr. Naz Reid. And it needs to be. I need Naz to start feeling more confidence in his shot. Kind of just flipping it up there with no worry. So Naz Reid, 20+ points.
Bad game against Charlotte. He needs this bad.
Yeah, exactly. This is the game to do it. He really needs it himself. So, all right, Trev, Wolves.
All right, I got the Wolves winning 123-108.
All right.
And I'm not going to lie, you kind of took my Nas prediction.
Boom! I sniped Trevor for the first time ever.
Oh, that's hot.
He always snipes me.
That's not nice. So can we just re-record this episode and then you pick someone new?
Again.
Yeah, you go through your rant again, and I'll hype up Kirk O'Chain.
Yeah.
No, let's go with.
Let's see it.
Can always go with a good old Rudy Gobert double-double.
That's a trustworthy. Yeah. Yep. I like that. Double for Rudy. All right. And then this one, a little bit more importance here because the Wolves, they're in the playoffs. I kind of want them to start losing games so they can play the Lakers. But then again, the Lakers might drop. So it might be the Nuggets either way. So we don't know how that'll go. But the Wild in hot pursuit of the Stars.
Man, if we get the Nuggets again, and regardless of how that series goes, if we beat them, they beat us. That's assuming it would be a good series. Netflix has been pumping out so many documentaries.
Oh yeah,
obviously
they gotta
documentaries
do one
in general,
on the rivalry.
But if you specify just sports documentaries, I feel like there's enough there where you could get a little mini 3-4 parts of that hour each episode of, because that's been fun watching. I mean, just in general, but then you had the Wolves' crazy comeback to knock off Denver, and man, it's almost like destiny, or if that's the right word. I don't know if I'm.
Yeah, I mean that's a good word for it.
It's almost like it's meant to be. Like it should happen, just given.
And I think it will be that. I don't think we're gonna catch the Rockets and the Lakers with all the injuries. They're gonna start dropping games, and the Nuggets are gonna get that third spot. It'll be T-Wolves Nuggets in the playoffs. It's all these same rivalry matchups, Stars and the Wild, and Nuggets and Wolves. So what a fun playoff year for us. Either way, the Stars are back on tonight too, against the Flames. So we'll see after tonight if the Wild, going into a game against the Stars here, have a shot at getting that 2 seed. But it all starts tonight. The Wild are playing really good hockey. The one thing I'll say is can't get complacent when you go up. This has been a theme all year. The Wild completely mix up how they play with aggressiveness and everything to it. So either way, Wild, Seattle tonight. Seattle, I don't think they have many injuries coming in. If I want to check. Yeah, just Shane Wright.
Yeah.
But there's no word on him. No word on him right now, but I'm assuming he'll be back. I think he was questionable for that game against the Blackhawks the other night. So, all right. Either way, what do you think? I'll let you go first.
Wild winning 5-2, and I got I think I'm gonna do this. Former Seattle Kraken, now Wild, is a brief Seattle Kraken. Bruce, do you know who this is?
Brief Seattle Kraken.
Yeah, just 1 year with Seattle.
Petrie?
Nope.
I don't know then.
You get one other guess, putting you right on the spot.
Former Seattle Kraken.
2021 with Seattle.
It's kind of crazy. Seattle's been here since 2021. They've already been in the league for that long.
I know, it doesn't feel like it at all. I think it's because have they even made the playoffs? Did they make it last year? I think it's just because Vegas did it so about as perfect as you can, and then Seattle just had a slow start. Any others?
It's not McCarron. I don't know. Nick's been on Chicago. I don't know. I don't know.
Mojo.
Oh wow! Honestly, that blew right past my mind. I didn't even know.
If you look at all his teams played, right, 4 years with Washington, 1 year in New Jersey, then Boston, then back to New Jersey, Buffalo, Minnesota first stint, then Seattle, then he went back to Washington, back to Minnesota, back to Washington, back to Minnesota. I don't think I've ever seen
so many flip flops.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been recording a point.
All right, Mojo point. That's a good prediction. I like that. Wild. Yeah, like I said, they're playing great hockey. Kirill, fantastic job. I'm going to go pretty simple here. I'll do the player prediction first. Kirill will record 2+ points in this game. I just love what I saw from him the other day. So, obviously the hat trick, you're going to love it either way. But my main thing is he's getting the puck near the net. He's taking shots. So that's my biggest thing there. But Wild win this one 3-2. And also, I'm very interested to see. It'll probably be Wallstedt. I think the Wild are kind of doing this flip-flopping of the goalies. Gus was in that last game for the Red Wings. I'm hoping Wallstedt gets start.
Well, that makes sense. Well, and then Gus would then be in line for Dallas.
For the Stars. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, well, no. We have another game before that.
No, we don't. Do we really?
Well, oh no, I'm thinking of Dallas. Sorry, Dallas just had the one before. No, I was thinking of the Red Wings game. Red Wings, Seattle, then Dallas. Yeah, so yeah, Dallas in 2 days from now in Dallas, biggest game of the season.
Which found out can't watch.
No.
Yeah. So I don't even know. I'm going to be calling restaurants and be like, Wild fan here.
All right, Trevor and I are going to be meeting up and going to B-dubs. No, I'm serious. That's what we're doing. I am.
Right,
that
cool.
is. Oh
yeah,
man.
I mean, I can do that. I'm only working till 2. So.
Oh, that is horrible.
Actually, I might. We'll have to double check, but I think that should work.
I mean, literally the biggest game of the season, undoubted. Yeah. Like that's for everything. Yeah, especially imagine if Dallas loses tonight and we get the win. Like we're 2 points behind them there, and we can get. Oh my gosh, that will
then
suck.
It's tied going into that game.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna suck. Either way, Wild win 3-2. Either way, we're on the same wavelength. Teams for each team here. But it's
unless we don't go to B-dubs, if some friendly listener wants to make 2 great friends, DM the great account of ours, and we'll make sure to give you a good return. And what that is, we will figure out.
We'll buy you a beer.
We'll give you something. You're of age.
Yes.
That's what Bruce meant to finish with.
Yeah. All right, people. That's all we got for tonight. Hot take Tuesday, out the window. Raiders going all in. And okay, I want to finish my Raiders topic. I didn't say this, but
you bozo.
No, but the Raiders, if they do everything that I said, if that team is constructed the way I did it, the Raiders are easily a winning record and fighting for a playoff spot or the division. The Broncos have one of the toughest schedules in the league. The Broncos defense, awesome.
Yeah.
But like the Chargers too, they're always kind of just weird in some ways. They can't get over the hump in the playoffs. They have a few clunkers every year. But then the thing I was going to say earlier is the Chiefs. They're nothing that what they used to be. The receiving room is horrible there, and they're just not as great of a team. The defense is horrible. They just lost all their secondary. So Raiders will be fighting for the division if they can get this done with Clint Kubiak, Kirk Cousins duo. So either way, Raiders talk, Twin Cities Raiders talk here, and a couple Minnesota Wild and Wolves predictions. We'll see how those go. And also go Twins. Big game tonight. Who is it? Tarek Skubal and Taj Bradley. Yeah. Big pitching matchup tonight. I should have mentioned that. But either way, people, go follow YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.